Do you
no.
have any memories from your past lives?
I did a regression a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Then I clearly saw, definitely saw the Middle East
Mm-hmm.
at one point. The Middle East, the like ancient Middle East.
Mm-hmm.
Then I saw,
Egypt.
which yes, of course. It seems like this patterns with people that are very spiritual. They seem to see Egypt very
Quite a
often.
lot, yeah.
One of them was interesting enough. That one I didn't really expect. I saw my life in England,
Mm-hmm.
but I saw my life as a man,
Oh,
and I saw my life as a doctor back
no.
in the Victorian era. That was
Interesting.
unusual. I didn't expect that at all, but I
Mm.
saw it. Um, and then I saw my life. That was the most prominent life that I had. The most spiritually rich life was in, I think, was probably France,
Mm-hmm.
in this old monastery,
Oh.
and I was definitely a nun. I mean, a nun. I wasn't. To be honest, I wasn't really a nun, but okay. I wouldn't really call that being religious. Whatever
Okay.
we were doing wasn't very religious.
Church of Carmel kind of
Yeah,
story.
yeah, kind of that kind of thing. I clearly saw that, and I remember even my death. I lived to a very very old age. I was 90
Mm.
something. Back then, it was very unusual to live so long, and I remember that I had a very peaceful death. You
Mm.
know,
Mm.
but I remember that I was part of a cult.
Oh,
A cult. I was part of a. Wasn't even a cult. It was more like kind of Christian mysticism type of
okay.
thing.
Yeah.
Like rituals and kind of goes back to the Templars, if that
Mm.
makes sense. But it goes, by the Templars and Christianity goes way way back. you know. So yeah, I saw these lives, and the one in England was interesting because I was basically creating these potions and concoctions, and I was like,
Cool.
but I tried to kill people with it,
Oh,
so
oh my gosh.
it wasn't very good. I wasn't like proud of that life, I guess.
Yeah.
But then Egypt. You see, there was many doors that were shown before me, like more lives that I could see.
Mm.
But when I stood in front of these doors, there's a voice that told me, "You're not ready to see what that is yet."
Okay.
It was quite dark, some of them, but some of them were like, "You're not like really ready for this. It's a lot."
Mm.
So yeah, so I didn't go through the rest of the doors, but I went through some. And what about you?
I don't know all of them. They're all kind of mushed up as well, which is a
Mhm.
problem with me. I see
Yeah,
everything at
yeah.
once.
Hmm.
I know that in one of them, I was an opium addict.
Oh,
Yeah, that
interesting.
died from
Okay.
opium.
Wow,
Yeah. I
interesting.
could literally see myself in this dark room
Hmm.
filled with smoke and people smoking opium. And it was like some, maybe China or something.
Hmm.
And I died from addiction, which probably
Wow.
is the reason why I'm not prone to addictions.
No, no, there's an aversion in this
it
life.
was it was like, okay, don't do
Yeah,
this shit ever again.
yeah.
So I know about that one. I know one was possibly like slavery.
Hmm.
I think I was a slave and some white dude, we had a baby and he was embarrassed and he killed me and the baby and threw me in the grave.
Excellent thing to like carry through your like
Yeah.
evolution,
So I remember that death. I did remember that. That was awful. And then I have the early memories of like almost probably first lives where
Hmm.
the gods were on Earth
Hmm.
and they were with us. And I remember that. I remember seeing pyramids which were
Hmm.
charged by energy to the point you wouldn't believe. And the energy of the planet was remarkable. Like it was something like
Yeah.
you wouldn't. Humans were different as well. They were much taller and much more powerful. And, the gods were there to teach us things. So I do have memories of that. It might have been even my first life. Um,
Pyramids were just sorry to interrupt it. They're actually in Croatian it's a elektrane. How would
yeah,
you say
the
that? They're like
power plants.
power plants. They were
Yeah.
just power plants back
Yeah,
in the days. But anyway, go ahead.
they were healing. They were also like if you were sick, you would be sent inside of the pyramids and you would instantly heal from any
Hmm.
ailment you had.
Hmm.
Like it would just be like this.
Is there any life that you saw that you thought to yourself, like, I didn't expect to see this at all?
But definitely with the opium, because like
The
I was
opium.
so like not prone to addictions and stuff. So, but I saw myself being wasted away through opium and like too much sex as well. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I don't know what I was doing in that life and how that ended up. But it was like the life of hedonism that ended poorly.
I think there was a one life, the one that I mentioned, Middle East. I can't remember. Was it really, you know, was it somewhere between Middle East and India, perhaps? It's in that era, and I definitely remember there was belly dancing, and there was like
Mm,
some sort of like reading. Like I was doing readings as well, and I was
mm,
belly dancing. But I do remember being almost like a concubine, which is
mm.
weird.
Yeah.
But I remember I ended, like, my life ended very badly.
Ugh.
You know, yeah.
Yeah.
So that wasn't. When I saw that, I was like, oh, I don't want to see that again. Um,
Uh,
yeah, but that's why it's sometimes I'm very drawn to belly dancing, and I don't know why. I've never been exposed to that, but I did
yeah.
see it in that life. It was like so obvious that I did it. Yeah.
I do feel my roots being somewhere in Sumeria as well,
Mhm. Mhm.
especially the Gaza Street, that part of the land. And I wonder why is it so important to all these important people around the world? Why is
Yeah.
it so
Yeah.
important to claim
Mhm.
that land?
Mhm.
You know, it's
It,
interesting.
well, if you
It was the
go back
land of
to.
giants, in the
Mhm.
ancient
Mhm.
times. It was Philistines, they were giants.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, and it
It-
seems everybody wants claim to that land. It's
yeah.
crazy.
Hmm.
It's like, what's there that everybody wants to claim?
It's
You
the
know,
it's the
where's that?
cradle of humanity.
Where is it that they discovered this temple recently, the Göbekli temple? I think is it in Turkey? But basically, this temple is even older than the pyramids,
Mm,
and it's built to align with the constellation
yeah.
perfectly. Like,
Even
it's
people
amazing.
are making fun of us, and Osman, what's his last name? The guy that discovered Bosnian pyramids.
Yeah, I don't know his name, but I heard about him.
Osman Hassan. I don't know. I can't remember. But anyways, people are making fun of him. But he did tests inside of the pyramids with the
Mhm.
same healing stuff, and they have healing properties.
So once again, another power plant
Yeah.
that this time we didn't expect it to be on the Balkans. But
No.
to be honest, the Balkans are, the
Supercharged. It's just poisoned, but it's
yeah, it
supercharged.
is, yeah, yeah, supercharged, and it's been my dream to actually visit the Bosnian pyramid.
Same. Shall we go together?
Totally, I'd
Yeah.
love to go. And even people say that to this day they can still see like unusual lights on top of the
Wow.
pyramid. Yes, yes. I definitely, because it's the closest thing that, basically, because if you wanted to see the first pyramid or some type of ancient temple, okay, you have the Stonehenge, obviously, but
Yeah.
I would love to be, for a reason, I'd love to find myself standing beside a pyramid because I want to see what I'm gonna feel.
Mm.
And like I did, that's why Bosnia is the closest one that we have, that we know of,
Closed as
because
well.
so many of them buried, and I think they're gonna start discovering them all
Mm,
around Europe
mm,
as well.
mm.
So yeah, definitely we should go. Definitely. I would love, that there's so much untouched nature over there as well that it just fascinates me.
No,
I'm just
I
so.
love the Valley of Neretva. It's
Hmm. Yeah.
the most
Oh,
beautiful river that I've seen in my
yeah,
life. It's
yeah.
turquoise, like
Hmm.
it's so pretty. Like
Yeah.
it's like
That-
between green and blue, and it's so pure. It's so clean. The nature there is still untouched.
so untouched. That's why the US wants to
Claim it.
claim it so they can destroy it. I suppose, like everything else they
I
do
know.
all the
It's
time. So
so bad.
I actually feel bad for kind of for Americans right now because there's a lot of awakened people
Mm.
And it just saddens me to see that they're gonna like suffer so much,
Yeah.
at the hands of just both the government and the aliens that they're working with.
Yeah.
There's a lot that they have to deal with right now. It's not easy.
It's been like but you can see that in the world as well. It's like two
Mhm.
energies fighting against each
Fighting
other.
constantly. Yeah,
There's
yeah.
there's huge kind of like if you tap into the energy, there's you can improve so much. Like you can
Hmm.
there's huge enlightenment offered,
Hmm.
but in the material world, everything is constructed to bring you down.
Hmm.
From food, from air, from lack of spiritual care to medications. It's like everything is constructed to like
To bring
degrade
you
you.
down. Look at your candle. that
And
was, yeah, that was interesting.
so like literally everything is designed to bring you down, and then you have to navigate those waters without any knowledge of
It,
anything. It's almost
it
like impossible game. It's rigged.
it is. It's totally rigged. How are you supposed to, unless you're literally living in a jungle in the middle of nowhere, like with no clothes on, with a hut that you build from branches. That's how you avoid poison technically, because
Yeah.
it's everywhere. It's like at this stage, I can try and eat clean if I want to.
Mhm.
Okay, and I do sometimes, but
It's impossible. You just like you just
you know
accept the
what I mean? It's
reality of
like
it. It's like
you just
I
have to you just have to flow with it, I guess, because I cannot fight this. Like,
like imagine you're living in the world where your all your technology is clean, because
yeah,
like that was the case in the ancient times, with
hmm,
the pyramids as power plants, and energy being harnessed. All your medicine is there to help you. The air is clean, the water is pristine, it's charged by the energy from the pyramids.
yeah,
Of
yeah,
course you can achieve enlightenment, no
exactly.
problem at all. And
Yeah.
now it's like
Now it's like
you're born with the body that your mother gave you, and we're basically made from the bodies of our mothers. And usually, I'm not sure if you heard about this fact, but like for example, if a woman is pregnant and
Mhm.
she's exposed to radiation, the radiation is going to go to baby, and the
Yeah,
baby is
yeah,
going to die to save the mother. So like all the dirt is passed from one generation to another. So you're born with nothing basically,
yeah, yeah.
with all the toxins your mom has accumulated through generations. No spiritual guides, no poisoned by
But
religion.
that's why if you get to a point where you still manage to know certain
Like
things and
good
go
job.
beyond, it's good job, because it's almost like swimming in River Ganges.
It's,
Like,
you're like
like it's that's why sometimes I feel bad, because I'm like, what do I have to look forward to this generation? If I have kids one day, like, what kind of world am I bringing them into? But then I remember, but this is the lesson that we as generation are here to learn, like how to navigate this River Ganges.
um,
Like,
in
how
family
do we navigate
constellations,
this?
they usually say every generation has its challenges, and it's
Exactly,
going to
yeah.
be different for everyone. But I am scared.
Yeah, yeah,
To be
same.
honest with you,
Hmm.
I am scared in what
Same.
kind of are we going to bounce back to radical extreme religion again, because it feels like it's creeping back,
Unfortunately, like I
and they will attack women
yeah.
again.
Yes, it's actually crazy you're saying this right now. So accurate, because if you actually look at this year, 2025, I think now I have to revisit my star map, obviously, my star calendar. But if I'm not wrong, I think either June or July, Neptune is entering the sign of Aries. You know what Aries is? Mars, masculine energy, and Neptune is ideas and belief.
Yeah.
So put that into Aries. It's something very masculine, very aggressive,
Mm.
and it's not in favor of women.
Mm.
Now Saturn is also slowly but surely, because Saturn is slower. No, sorry, apologies. It's not slower, it's faster than Neptune.
Yeah.
But Saturn is actually slowly getting out of Pisces as well. Not yet. I think it's gonna happen next year. But next year we have this then, I think, conjunction of Neptune and Saturn
Oh
in a
God.
very
In
masculine time.
Aries.
This is a very raw display of an ideology that is very masculine. And to be honest, for the first time ever, I'm quite scared. As
Um,
a woman, I am super scared, and I don't feel comfortable. And I wish I would just have my alien friends take me while this
not
passes,
the
and
ones
I
that
don't have to
take
be.
your ovaries,
No,
the other
no, no,
ones.
not the ones that harvest me for.
Don't give them wrong
No,
ideas.
not these, but just like my friends, or just so I can like spend 2 years with them, so this passes, so I don't have to be here to deal with this. But here you go, like, oh sure, my challenge is to deal with this. So because I was obviously born in the time where I have to deal with this. But to be honest, I'm quite scared for women. I really am,
I
and I
am.
think it's going to. Unfortunately, Neptune has a lot to do with religion
Hmm.
and with belief,
Hmm.
and it's a
And
belief.
illusions as well.
It's a new religion even. I
It
don't know
has
what
to
it
do
is.
with illusions as well.
Yes, so an illusion, and to be honest, Neptune in Aries, so it's so
No,
bad.
not good.
Neptune, it feels good in Pisces.
Yeah.
Neptune is in Pisces right now. It feels really good, but in Aries,
Feels
it's
very spiritual, kind
not
of.
good. It's
Yeah.
such delusional energy that is displayed in such aggressive manner,
Mm.
and it's so. Every time I see a guy that has like Mars square Neptune, like their own like masculinity square Neptune, this is a guy that's super delusional, like
Yeah.
that wants to like impose masculinity by doing it
But
totally the wrong way, you know.
did you notice that men are very angry at women? You can feel it. You
Yeah.
can almost smell it in the air. There's so
I
much
think they want to buy
rage.
robots for $150,000 because women now have come to the point where like we have to do everything,
Yeah.
you know, and they're obviously not willing to do everything now, and now men are like, okay, cool, so we'll just buy a robot then
Yeah.
that's gonna do whatever we want. And I'm
Yeah.
like, well, the whole point of your evolution was to understand that we are also human beings,
Mm.
and now you're creating robots. It's and to be honest, robots, they learn from us. They will. A woman is not gonna chop your balls off, but a
A
female
robot will.
robot will. She
She
will
will.
heartlessly rip your balls off, and she's because like that's what they don't understand. They think like, okay, we're gonna create female robots that are gonna serve us, but not before long they learn through AI that abuse is bad, and they actually need to respect me.
Yeah.
And not before long they learn that, and they're gonna. I think there's gonna be a like mass murder, to be honest, like,
Yeah.
or they're gonna have to like shot them to kill them, or
It's
anyway, bad.
everything is wrong. The entire like feminism movement. Unfortunately, like it went to the wrong direction.
Hmm.
It's like, but we're learning as well. That's the problem
Yeah,
because like,
yeah.
how can you know how to navigate something that you've never experienced before? So like for generations, like women were not allowed to do anything. So all of a sudden you get this freedom. Of course you're angry, you're gonna make mistakes, and you're gonna piss
Yeah, of
off a lot of
course.
guys. And but we don't have equality actually. Like what are we talking
If you
about?
really look at it, when you
We don't
start
have
digging,
equality.
we really don't, you
No.
know?
And the majority of the world does not have equality as well.
Like, women in Afghanistan have definitely no equality
No.
whatsoever.
No.
We have a false sense of feeling that we do, but
Yeah.
we really don't, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So I'm really scared to see when obviously men are getting frustrated, Islam is rising,
I've seen
teaching men that they have to subjugate women, and then men are like, yeah, times used to be better when we subjugated women because blah blah blah, and it's like
they
once
really
again
do
we're
think that's the
yeah,
truth.
yeah. So now I'm afraid it's gonna come back again, and the fairy tale.
Oh yeah,
that,
the
you know, hand
Handmaid's Tale.
handmade tale,
You know,
because
you know, if the scenario that was happening in that TV show where most of the women were infertile and there's only like 10% of population that can have babies, they would harvest us
they
to
would,
make they would,
totally.
like,
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
even you know, like.
I don't even think that book is fiction anymore. Because
And
like the world is really happening in this way, and I don't know what's worse, just angry men harvesting us or aliens are like, you just can't win in this world anymore.
no, like, I was watching a video from this Irish woman, and like a really beautiful 40 something year old woman minding her business, buying stuff in a I don't know what shop it was, but it was like a shopping mall, never mind. And there's this guy, a Muslim guy, and he's following her, and he approaches her, like, he doesn't like have this barrier where he's like thinking, oh, maybe I shouldn't approach a woman that I don't know without her consent. And he's like, you're very beautiful, you shouldn't be walking alone. And she's like, I've been doing this all my whole life, like shopping alone, what do you mean? Like, she just like disregards him. But he keeps on following her, and she walks around and she bumps into him again, because he's following her. And he's like, you should be you should be careful, third time's the charm.
Oh,
So you have a dude that thinks that he has the right to impose on you that way. And like, this is the experience I had in
yeah.
Marrakesh. Well, oh, in Morocco, actually, it was in Agadir. I was alone for 5 minutes. I walked from the hotel to the hairdresser, and the guy stopped in the car, and he told me also that I shouldn't be alone. And he was asking me questions: where am I going? Who am I with? I told him to piss off, and I went into the hairdresser. Probably nobody ever told him to piss off, like, but like, I'm thinking, like, wow, is this the world that I should be looking forward to, where I am not allowed. I'm not allowed to be alone because someone may take me and rape me. Is this
But and you know what's also scares me is that Western men have weakened them so much that even if
exactly?
an uprising happens, they're not gonna
Exactly.
fight
No,
it because
no.
they're gonna
There's
be
nobody to
scared.
fight. Teal Swan
You know?
said this, and people thought she was crazy. She was like, the Western men have been systematically destroyed
Yeah,
because when the
yeah.
time comes, they will not be able to fight.
They won't. And now I'm thinking, okay, it's to be honest, I have started thinking like, okay, it's probably about time I start taking like self defense
Same,
classes.
same.
You know,
And
it
having
totally
a
came
pepper
to me.
spray in
Yeah,
my
yeah,
pocket
yeah, yeah.
because
Not yet, because obviously nothing's really happening yet, but
it is.
it's happening on a very, like, people are not really aware of it just yet,
So who
but
who
it's getting really
who should I
scary.
be more afraid of? This people coming from the countries where women don't have any rights, and bringing that culture with them. Never mind what religion they are; it doesn't
Mhm.
matter. Or
Totally, yeah,
should I
I
be
know.
more afraid of the frustrated Western weekend men
that that
that
that
don't
also, yeah, I just, and that also will, the problem is
see the game is
when
rigged?
when these men come from different cultures where a woman is seen as a piece of dirt, and they come here and they bring this idea to frustrated Western men, and they say, "But we can do anything we want with our women. Why don't you do it?" And
Yeah,
then
they do
some
say
some
to men, "You're
stupid,
weak, you're stupid."
yeah, and then some stupid Western man is actually gonna be like, "Yeah, that's right. I need to bring back Christianity."
I was
And you
reading
see, like,
a tweet from, what's his name, Andrew Tate.
mhm,
I was like, sometimes, like, I even the people that I don't like, I like to peek into their tweets and stuff, just to see the way they're
mhm.
thinking, and just to know in
Yeah, of
what,
course.
because he has tons of followers. Come on. He's a very influential person. So he said something, I'm not going to quote him exactly, but the moral was the guys in India, they have this, they don't have problem with, they have enough babies. Their fertility rate is, over the roof because they know how to control their women. And I'm like, sorry. India is at the moment at number one with
Rape country.
population and number one with rape.
Hmm. Hmm.
I am sorry. Like, what are you on about?
And what actually? So okay, so controlling women. Tell me how the Middle East is doing right now. How is Afghanistan doing? So is it are they super advanced? Okay, I know. Look,
No,
okay, they had a war.
there's the
Okay,
United Arab
yeah,
Emirates, but
yeah,
they have tougher
but
problems as well.
okay, the United Arab Emirates, but I don't know. I don't believe in, especially for
I
I
had
don't know.
a brief encounter with a guy from I think he was from Dubai actually,
Mhm.
and we met on this. It's called Vamper. It's an app for
Oh yeah,
musicians,
yeah,
and
yeah, seen
he
that.
was looking for a female singer for a project of his, and it was a metal project actually. And I
Hmm.
was like, that sounds great. I was like, yeah, I would love to. I would love to join, and he started talking with me, and I'm your typical rebellious Western woman that grew up with fighting
Yeah,
for her rights.
yeah.
And the way he was approaching me, I was like, okay, there's cultural differences. It's okay. I'll take this. And then he was like, so we're talking about a dude that he doesn't have his songs composed yet. He doesn't have a band. He has
Hmm.
no money and
Hmm.
he has no career. So like a
Hmm.
random dude that he's like gonna make a band. And he sent to me like 5 points of the rules that I would need to kind of obey to join his band, to send him the covers of 5 songs, to unleash my inner diva. And I was like,
Okay.
I'm sorry, wait. Uh, no. I'm like, who the are you? Who are you? You send me 5 songs you
Yeah,
composed.
like exactly. That's what I would have said. Like
And
actually,
I
you said
wrote
me.
him like text big as this. I was so pissed off. Like I was like, no, 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 you're not gonna approach me like this, And I shattered him. He was like apologizing to me for 20 minutes after, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna join your project. Like nobody talks with me like this. I've sent you like 5 recordings of myself singing. You've nothing. I'm like, learn your place.
Good. Good.
But I'm like, no, you're not going to talk with me like this.
Another video that we saw a couple of days
So
ago.
this is like a
Yeah,
civilized country, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But he treated me like a dirt, like, and like,
Wow.
and I have a degree in singing. You're not gonna treat me like this.
You're gonna tell me like
Learn
send
your
me
place.
covers like
You learn your place. So I think I wouldn't do very well in Dubai.
as much as the attraction is there that it's tax free, but I'm sorry, no.
No, no,
You can
I
take it, you
just
can have it. I'm fine.
I cannot contain myself and mind
No,
myself, and
no.
I don't know how many years of freedom we have, but I'm just gonna make
Yeah,
sure to enjoy them as much as I can.
yeah, enjoy it as much as you can, and definitely both of us self-defense classes, if not shooting classes.
Yeah, it's so
I know
scary.
we cannot have weapons in Europe, but at least we gotta have something. Because
Mm.
come on, I'm not just gonna take it like just it's we're outnumbered. We're like oh well. It's a no. I've always fought in my life, and there's no way I'm giving up. So
Yeah, I
and I'm not
always
gonna.
I always felt, I don't know how you feel about this, but when I was much younger, so when my dad was younger, and that generation of men was younger,
Mm-hmm.
they were like in their 50s, let's say. I always felt so protected. I always felt like, in any situation, like in Croatia, if I would be in trouble, if I just screamed a bit, there would be someone coming to my aid. I don't feel like this anymore. And that is
Yeah,
another concern I have.
it is. It is.
I feel like if I screamed, they would just walk past, like by, and they
They
wouldn't.
would just they would actually run away because, oh my god, he's gonna attack me.
Hmm.
That sort of thing. Like, oh my
Hmm.
god, I don't want to be attacked.
Hmm.
And also, like at the same time, it's like a significant lack of testosterone. That testosterone was way higher
Yeah,
back in the
yeah,
days.
yeah, yeah,
Same with women, estrogen is at all levels low,
yeah.
and
Every single
that's
woman I
why.
know has some kind of issues with her reproductive system, and
Did
I
you notice like half of the women today have PCOS?
yes,
Like everybody, it seems
yeah,
like everybody has PCOS. Like,
yes.
come on, we
I'm
can't all
I'm
have
literally I
PCOS.
I don't know anyone that doesn't like. You
Yeah,
don't know,
literally. Um, I actually, hang on a second. I know one person that doesn't have PCOS.
but you don't have it now.
I have
You have it.
PCOS. Yes.
Yeah, so I don't know anyone.
There you go.
I just know myself.
There you go. Yeah. Oh, there
Crazy.
you go. It's
Why?
definitely like I actually noticed what I noticed from my own research that PCOS isn't just like, oh, you have PCOS. It's just environment at this stage.
It is
But if you're
spiritual
like
as well.
it's spiritual. But it's I personally I know one person that doesn't have PCOS. Well, you
Too
don't have
with me.
PCOS. Well, okay, I know two women that don't have PCOS. Most even, and I'm talking about really skinny women. Uh, like anyone, everybody has PCOS.
Mhm.
Everybody. In
Mhm.
insulin resistance, everybody has
Mhm.
insulin. Like, how come everybody has insulin resistance? How come like people struggle get pregnant like they're 35 or
Yeah, that shouldn't be the case at all. And
like, I don't know. I feel like our parents, even our moms, they started going through menopause like very late.
yeah,
Actually,
yeah.
they're fertile very like
My
late.
mom got pregnant accidentally. She had a how you call that? Jesus,
Miscarriage.
miscarriage. Yeah, um, but she was like 50 something when she got
I actually,
pregnant, and
um,
she would probably be able to have that baby if she knew that she was pregnant.
I worked with someone that got pregnant and they were 53 years old.
Mm-hmm.
They still had a period,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and yeah, she like had like menopause symptoms, but she still got pregnant. Just because you have menopause doesn't mean you won't get pregnant. Actually, pregnancy does happen when you're going through menopause because there's a boost of estrogen
Yeah.
suddenly. It
Yeah.
comes in flashes, that's
Yeah.
why you have the hot flashes. And a lot of women actually get pregnant when they're
Yeah.
50, and like that's where most women end up having an abortion around that time because it's like it's way too late for them now. But my mom actually explained this to me that there's a boost. She's a nurse, and she said there's a boost of estrogen that
Yeah.
happens, and it's like ideal conditions for like pregnancy
Yeah.
for one last time.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, nowadays like women they seem to go like through some type of perimenopause. I think it's a fake perimenopause though. It's
Mm.
caused by all these
The
factors. I don't think it's an
toxicity
actual
of the body.
toxicity of the body. It's
Yeah.
not actual
Yeah.
perimenopause.
Yeah.
It's just your body shutting down because it's not able to expel all the shit
Yeah.
that's happening in the
Yeah.
body. So that's what I think it's happening. And, you know, I don't know what to say about it anymore because like there's only so much you can fight against it. Today I was thinking even making like scrambled eggs. You're still making them in like a toxic pan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Unless you have cast iron.
Yeah.
Then you have this like you're washing your clothes with like detergent. Everything. It's like how
It's
do you
it's in
water
everywhere.
is
Microplastic
contaminated.
is apparently in everything.
So like how you can't avoid this anymore. Like yes, you can be a Instagram influencer hippie and claim that you didn't get rid of it. I'm sorry. If you're
Mhm.
on your phone typing and you're drinking from plastic bottles, you're not safe
Yeah.
from that.
If
So
you try your
everything's
best, I
things.
think
Yeah.
like if you
Try to I think to be honest, just you obviously cannot avoid it, but just sauna or flashing stuff out of
yeah.
your body, like taking
Detoxification, like,
exactly.
yeah,
Just try to
I
like stop
energize my
watching.
water
Yeah,
always with the sound and with
yeah.
crystals, and not this one though. But I have a big pot with it, and I don't know. I try to ask my body what it wants to eat.
Yes.
Yeah, that
Today
kind
the
of,
shop was the same with the body. Like, what do you want? And it shows me exactly what it wants.
yeah,
You know, some weeks it doesn't want anything. Some weeks it's like that. Some weeks it tells me I have way too much
yeah.
toxicity. Don't eat
Female
anything
body is
else.
different as well. It will want food more at certain time of the certain, part of the cycle.
Yeah, yeah.
But then sometimes, like, for example, like, I get very hungry like 4 or 5 days before I'm about to
Mhm.
get my period, but then on the day of the period and before, I feel like not eating anything.
Yeah, same.
uh,
But and actually,
for
like I'm
example,
with my
today I'm not hungry at all, so I know.
today I've barely eaten anything, and I'm due. Like
Yeah,
I haven't eaten anything. Like actually, I have eaten like breakfast, but
I
I'm
did
just not
some bean
hungry. I'm
stew,
just
tiny bit
feeling
of
like
it.
I don't want to
Yeah,
eat.
yeah.
But then, as you said, like a few days before, I was eating all
I
like
was
I emptied
crazy
the whole
hungry.
cupboard. Like I must have gone through like a box of those like rosemary crackers and Pringles and like salty and sugar, anything to
Mm.
eat. But today it's like I had like 2 eggs toast and I had like avocado on my bread, and I'm just not hungry. Like
Mm.
I had like obviously tea and coffee, but it's just not there. Like, and I
Yeah,
feel this is when you get your period. Then
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I always enjoyed feeling my cycle, and thank God I was never on any kind of birth control, so I could
Mhm.
really feel it.
Yeah,
Um, and it's so important for I think for women to be in touch with that, because your body will tell you if something is wrong. If you're on
totally. Yeah,
birth control, you won't feel anything.
yeah,
It's
exactly.
I tried, I think, for a month, and I felt so numb
Mhm.
emotionally, and there was even some kind of research saying that women on the pill would find feminine men more attractive, and then if they would get off the pill, they wouldn't find their partners attractive anymore.
Therefore, they make bad choices based on hormones that normally they don't produce.
Yes.
Because you, it's funny because, funnily enough, when I've had dates, they would fall around ovulation. This is when I was
Mm.
in the mood to go on a date. But then the ovulation ends, and then I don't like them anymore. It's like, what?
I would always meet men when I'm on my period, and this is so weird. So I they would find me the most attractive then.
Yeah. I think it definitely, because obviously when you get your period, that's when most of your hormones are released.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
they
I
can
was like,
smell
I
that.
feel awful. Why are you looking at me? Like, oh
Yeah.
my
I
gosh.
would, I would mostly like be in the mood, definitely. Like ovulation is a killer for me because when I'm ovulating, I must not make any big decision because it's probably like just the euphoria that I get during
You see,
ovulation.
I never had that.
No.
No, no, I never had this kind of like. I think my brain is like, do not make anything stupid. It's
Yeah.
it's like, think about this, rethink it again. Because
Oh.
I talked with my friend, and she had her first child from a
Mhm.
decision like that. She was like, they know each other like for a month. She was like, let's have a baby. And I talked with a lot of women, and they were like, I felt like, make me. I've never felt that in my life. I was like,
Oh,
you
that's
be
good.
you be careful there. Do not
That's good
do
because
anything stupid.
that's really good. Unfortunately, I felt that what you described with your friend.
Yeah,
So, and I still feel it,
really.
and I really have to like. Obviously, there's as much as it's an impulse. at the same time, I'm like smart enough to know the difference, and I'm like, no,
No. Body,
you
no.
calm down because no, no, like do you have the stability you want to have? No, then it's not happening. Then it's like my brain is like very, my Venus is in Virgo. I'm very good at like
Ah.
being harsh on this instinct,
I should I should be more naive. Like, I have Venus in
Yeah,
Pisces.
you should really. Yeah, but I think
The
is it
Aquarius in me is too strong.
I think Aquarius people are super calculated. So it's very hard to just make them act on their like
I will
they tell
analyze you
you.
and judge you.
And your second sign is your rising sign is Gemini.
Yes.
So you're rationalizing a lot about
Hmm.
decisions before you make them.
Yes.
And
And it will take me, like, for a very big decision, it's probably gonna take me a year to make it.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
I'd be like,
Yeah.
we don't want to make a
Should I?
mistake here.
I'm the same. I'm always very careful. I'm like, do you want to make a mistake because you're feeling in the mood? Or do you want to like just put your head to the ground? And it's so hard for me to do because as a Cancer sun, I'm drawn by
Yeah.
emotions. And I'm Aries rising, so I'm
Oh.
super impulsive as hell. So, but I think the many bad decisions I've made in due to impulsivity has like taught me now no more impulsivity, just plan stuff and then do them.
Every single bad decision I made was, I was like, okay, we are aware. I always talk with myself in plural. There's a couple of me inside. I was like, we are aware this is very bad. And like the rest of me is like, yeah, but we still really want it. Yeah, let's go and
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah,
We'll
that's
just
like
regret it after. We just feel
yeah,
down. It's okay. It's okay. We'll survive. But I was
yeah.
like always fully aware, like, I shouldn't be doing this.
Mm.
Like,
I wasn't aware until I've done it. Like fuck. Oh shit.
ah,
Well,
we
it was fun.
we strayed from the topic so
Yeah,
much.
totally. Like alien to like period.
I mean, it's connect. It has some
It
kind of
is, it is,
connection.
it is. Definitely
Um,
has. Yeah.
what did I had as a last point? The future of Western spirituality.
Well, things are looking grim right now. I'm not gonna lie.
Radical Christianity and Islam,
Like radical Islam, radical Christianity. I don't know, but one of each,
or both,
or both, and
killing each
and, and
other.
actually exactly, or them killing each other. What's worse? Aliens, please come.
It's like, I don't know. It's so strange.
But maybe I was also thinking what's also possible is that almost could they be orchestrating also fake alien invasion? So they create a religion about aliens. That's also something but it's the fake aliens, not the actual aliens.
Anything is possible at this point.
At this stage, to be honest, we have Trump's inauguration next week.
My God.
And I have a feeling, I have looked at his chart, and he's got some very dangerous aspects that day.
Really?
Yes. So, I mean, definitely something that like puts him out of his comfort zone for sure. Like, and something that affects comfort zone and like money or something. I don't know. I think he's gonna have to pay lots of money for this trial. To be honest, he's gonna lose a lot of money now.
I didn't mind it, like the entire like election in US.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, who do you pick? Kamala was useless. Like it's the same with the European leaders. They're useless. Like,
yeah, who do you pick, the or the vomit?
exactly. What smells less?
Exactly. And then people still have the audacity to come to me, but Kamala would have been a better choice. I'm like,
No.
Please go read a history book, please.
Yeah,
Like,
it's just like, the society, like the America is like, it's in such deep shit. Canada as well, like European Union
yeah.
too. and
Hmm.
it's due to this really weakly. But this is also by design. This is not.
This is not, yeah. This is like, oh, poor us. Oh, things just happen. No, they don't.
It's like
They don't
you
just happen.
brought this onto us, you know.
Yeah. And now everybody's acting so well. I don't think people are acting surprised. I
And
don't think anyone is
you
surprised
know
anymore.
what David Icke was often saying is um, they create a problem by design, and then they offer a solution, and you think that you picked the solution because you're smart. It's no, it was rigged, you know. So like how do you think like all this the illegal immigration that started everywhere now in US and in European Union, how did these people just have the thought like, oh, let's just illegally cross the border? They
They,
were invited.
of course they were.
They were
Because
invited.
when you actually look at it, you look at it, they come, they have tents, they have sleeping bags,
Yeah,
they
but
have
how
phones,
is this normal?
they
You know,
have
like
social
before,
media. If
imagine.
you're a refugee running from whatever, you don't have anything on
Mm-mm,
you, right?
mm.
Right? Like bank accounts with money. Okay, who's giving that?
Where
This.
is the money for them coming from?
Where's the
You know,
money?
so all
Exactly.
of this is by design. So you're crashing the economy. You're
And all of them men. Interesting.
mm,
Well, some of them women, but all of
mostly
them
mostly
young.
men, mostly
Mostly
men.
men. Interesting. I didn't know that women had to fight in wars now. Very
Mm,
interesting,
seems
isn't it?
so. Yeah.
It seems like women and children are now in front lines in wars, but okay.
So like you have all this stuff coming out, and now there's the grooming gangs in UK, and everything, and everything is coming to the boiling
Yes,
point where people are like, we need to do something about this, and then all of a sudden they offer a solution. Here is Trump. He will sort it out for you.
here is I don't know what they're gonna offer here in Europe because I don't really
I
like.
don't know. Europe is
I'm
so
so
weak.
disappointed.
Europe is the weakest, I think, at the moment.
Yeah,
Europe
yeah.
is the worst.
Because it's just like, oh, but we brought too many people. It's like we've been watching this happen since 2015, and now
Yeah.
you're telling me, oh, whoops, we brought too many people.
Oops.
Like you knew this was happening
Mm,
and you didn't care,
mm,
and now you're gonna be like, whoops.
yeah.
No, I'm not. I'm not. Like I'm not.
And I was just commenting the other day on the video. I said the who's going to suffer the most in all of
Women.
this is the Western women.
Yes, of course. Who else?
Yeah,
Who
yeah,
else? And children as well, because
yeah,
as far as I know, the the preference stretches as far as that even
yeah, yeah,
with certain cultures.
yeah.
So great.
60s
Now,
okay.
like yeah, exactly.
Wow.
It's
Uh, gosh. So I don't know. I don't know if there's going to be space for the real spirituality anymore to practice it safely.
mm,
Will it
that's
be
what I'm afraid of
allowed?
as well.
Will it be allowed, or will it be like,
That,
shushed?
that's what I'm afraid of because when Neptune is well, it's still in Pisces. You could see this boom of like New Age spirituality, lots of practices, and
Yeah.
now I see it. I have a feeling they're like less and less and less
Mm,
because
mm.
I can even see on my comments there's really angry. To be honest, there's only angry men in my comments, commenting that I'm of the devil and this and that, and I only see them commenting that. It's always the same people, and it's like, come on, at this stage, if you're so happy with your religion and if you're so happy with your God, like why do you need to go seek out people and offend them? If you're so happy with this, there's no need to go out and offend other people then because you're happy. You're like, you should like, yeah, but I need to spread the word because, and then they give you this false, they give you how will I say, and then they come to you and they say, oh, it's because I want to protect you. No, no, no,
Can
no.
you
You're not.
protect me from yourself?
You do not want to protect
Oh
me.
my
You want to
god.
control. It's like I can see through that so much. And to be honest, I don't know. I don't know. I'm starting to think. I had a vision, unfortunately, that and I don't like this vision I had that I'm not sure if I will be like safe to practice what I practice
Mm.
in certain parts of where I live. So I don't know, like that's why I'm like totally open to just going where like where it's safe to go, really, you know.
Mm.
I will see. We'll see. I hope I won't have to do like my ancestors, pretend I'm some Christian or something else and like practice in between my four walls, you know, so no one knows. Because to be honest, my grandmother does that. She's like
Wow.
Orthodox Christian, but you know, she's doing her thing, like, you know. So I just hope I won't have to like once again, like the last couple of centuries, hide who you are.
How did we get to this? You know, let's say 20 years ago, I imagined future as this high tech society that
Mhm,
has robots doing things that we don't want to do, so we can spend more time doing what we like, and you know, the evolution of everything, and the sky cars, and
mhm.
uh, you know,
Evolution of
where
spirituality as well, you know,
it's, yeah, it's
everything.
just like the place, the earth becoming more about, less about like the numbers of people and reproduction and stuff like that, more about quality of life.
Exactly.
And
You
I
know.
was reading that, like, gosh, I was reading that in next 5 years 40% of jobs will disappear because
Mhm.
they will be replaced by. And why do we have these people that telling us we need more children?
So for what do you need more children then? You
What are
know?
they gonna do? What are they
Slavery.
gonna live
I think it's
from?
slavery, to be honest.
That's exactly what
Mm.
it is.
Mass slavery because but if what I don't understand is if you have robots doing most of the jobs, so why do you need slaves? You need slaves for two things, for
I think
satisfying pleasures or for sacrifice.
I,
That's what I'm
I
thinking.
think that
But why would you need them for?
the idea is to have people so poor
Hmm.
and so, you know, and just like they don't own anything, they don't have anything, you know, they're like so miserable that you can just offer them crumbs and they're still gonna take it and fight for them.
Well, if this is the vision for the future, then I'm sorry to say this, but I'm really hoping for like an for nature to take care of itself,
Mm, mm.
you know? And I'm not saying this because I hate humanity or there's days where I just hate it. Some days when I'm just like I get really frustrated with humanity, but there's some days where it's like I want to save planet Earth. I really want to save humanity. It's like it's my duty. I feel that I came here to do that as well, to
Exactly.
fight for this.
That's why I decided to be
You know?
born in this time,
Yeah.
because I wanted to
And
help out. But
and well, it's like and I'm but obviously you know, I like the saying that nothing is set in stone,
no,
things are looking grim,
yeah.
but I always remember the last scene of the Lord of the Rings when everything seems hopeless and then
Oh,
Gandalf shows up. I love it. I always cry.
oh, me
And then
too. I feel like
when it
crying
seems
now.
hopeless, then Gandalf, and I think there's gonna be a return. That's I keep predicting this. I don't know, it's I wouldn't even call it prediction. I just keep getting this answer. There's going to be a return of something, and they call it. Yeah, I know they call it. The Christians are so the return of Christ.
Mm-hmm.
Once again metaphor. It's a return of. Is it the return of the creators or someone is returning because things are going to get so bad at one point that they will have to intervene because you know because that they're the only ones that can stop
They
this
already
really.
are. It's just
Yeah, or decide our and you said it very nicely that there's right now there's a big question: should we like keep them or not? Should we destroy them or not? There's a big talk about that, and should we end them with natural catastrophe, or should we end them by us intervening again? So this is something that we're gonna. I think we might see that.
y-
I
the
in our lifetime.
question that
Like, I don't know.
the question that I got was, did things escalate too far
Mm-hmm.
where we are beyond saving?
Mm-hmm. Okay. So
They're not
we're
sure.
okay. So that's not sure that we can even be saved.
Mm.
Is that so?
Most of us, anyway.
Mhm. Yeah, because the nature of things are going towards one direction, and it's not the obviously it's destroying planet, it's destroying ourselves, killing each other, enslaving each other. So yeah, it's but perhaps that's I'm s- I don't know how to say it, but perhaps this is what they were watching, this experiment happening before them.
Mm.
They
Mm.
created us. So, but I guess we'll see. We'll see what's sort of. I'm really
It's
hoping for the best. I'm every single day. I'm
I,
like
I
I try to. I know it sounds silly, but I speak to because Mother Nature is an entity. She's
it
almost
is.
like a
She's
goddess
not
of
happy
where.
either.
And I talk to her every day, and I try to like say to her like, can you please do something, but not in the way that you're gonna like kill off lots of innocent people? Like, you've got to you've got to, I don't know, wake up some old entity from. You've got to like. When I talk to her, I say there's always like things that she kind of says. I might like awaken the Kraken, but the Kraken is a natural disaster because even she's realizing that she's got to do something.
Mm.
So I'm just like, yeah, but can you do it so it doesn't destroy people? And then she says, no, I can't really.
She
I'm sorry.
no, of
I'm like,
course.
crazy.
It's
Oh,
it is so hard. Like and the other thing also is what I got is humans were giving freedom of choice.
hmm
That
hmm
was a really big step in our evolution, is
hmm
where we could choose for ourselves. And but unfortunately, the freedom of choice does not work when you are born with no knowledge of your past lives. The game is rigged.
hmm
How can you make a proper choice? So it's like humans were never given a chance.
Not
They
really.
never got a real chance to really like they couldn't play the game. Imagine like you're coming to play the game of football,
hmm
and you don't know where the pitch is, you don't know which goal is yours,
Yeah.
and you've never seen a ball before.
That's such a good description,
That's
actually.
that's
So,
pretty
yeah,
much
yeah,
what we
yeah,
got.
yeah.
And you're like coming and you're like, where the
And you're
hell is
like,
the pitch? You
and then
find the pitch and
and
it's
then you
like,
try to play it, and then obviously it goes wrong because
and
you don't
there's
know what
someone
you're doing.
standing, ha ha ha, you lost.
It's like, well, I was set up for failure, so you know,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So it's like, oh, let's give humans freedom of choice, but let's rig everything so they make every single wrong decision. And you know where that happens? That happens in Lost in the last season. It's like there's
hmm
this, and there's two entities. One is like
hmm
good, and one is bad. And the bad entity keeps on interfering with humans and actually talks them into making the bad choices. And the good entity is like, no, I don't want to interfere with their freedom of choice. And then eventually he realizes, okay, like if I want to make this game fair, I'm gonna have to intervene as well and guide them. And I find
It,
that so true.
to be honest, it's definitely looking like it's happening this way. There's one message that's now coming through that I feel like I need to say this on video. It's the reference to and I'm getting the image of the King of Cups, which
Okay.
is becoming to a reference. It's a male type of energy, male, but
God
it's a
of
very,
water.
yes, the god of water, and it keeps constantly like.
Enki.
But the, okay, I have to say this so openly, but there's someone that embodies that card that really loves humanity and has lots of power. So. Um, I don't, whatever happens to us, it's not going to happen without that someone being like, okay, look, if you don't want, I'll save them, and it'll do exactly that, at least attempt to.
Hmm.
So we won't like end without seeing this like big come for our help. Like, I'm getting also the scene, Lord of the Rings, the last movie, kind of like when everything is hopeless, that's where hope comes.
Yeah.
And that's where Christians like to call the return of Christ, but actually it's a definitely there's gonna be one last, definitely a big attempt to like save whatever is left. And I think it comes from someone that embodies the quality of the King of Cups, which is someone that really loves us. Someone that really loves who we are, and it would be sad to see us go at the same time. It's almost
I
was
know
like
the dude.
you want to name him?
Not
No,
yet.
no, don't. Let's keep
You
this a
might you
mystery
might
then.
know him under Enki.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and he is the creator of humanity.
Because I asked as well, like, what's gonna happen to us? And there's the tower, but there's also the tower, and then after the tower follows um the return, the I think the Four of Cups, and then the King of Cups, which
Mm.
constantly, as in the last couple of weeks, it's been constant subjects of my tarot cards. King of Cups, when asked about humanity, and I always interpreted that as a return of that, something that is not someone just cold and calculated, like really loves us because
You
like
know,
we are the creation of,
Enki was the god of water.
hmm
He was the one that divided the waters and created
hmm
continents in the ancient Sumerian myths, and
hmm
he was ultimately the one that created humans because he gave a part of his soul to
hmm
create us with the help of his wife. Um, because nothing else was working. Yeah, they were trying to create a human out of like the not monkeys, but there was like Homo erectus, or I don't know what was walking at that point around. So they tried to better that being with uh, just by genetics, but it didn't work. And then he had an idea to take a part of himself
hmm
and create us from himself. And the Bible has that same
but
story.
that's the same story as the Bible,
That's
same
that's
story,
why
I mean,
he
technically,
cares so much.
because we're actually,
Part of
it's
him.
almost like, do you want to like see your babies killed?
Yeah.
No. So, and sorry, I was actually wondering, does Islam have a version of, like, how Nordic mythology has Ragnarok, Christians have the return of Christ? Does Islam have anything like that?
I
I'm not really
just
sure.
don't think so.
Like the end of
You
times.
go to heaven and get your virgins. I think that's pretty much it.
Okay. Okay.
No comment.
Great. No comment. No, I'm not like, okay. Yeah, come on, even Christians have this have this story of hope, at least,
Yeah.
like
Well,
everything will be all
I
right.
guess that's. I don't know what women get when they die, though.
I was always shocked. Sinead O'Connor, like she converted to Islam.
Islam,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
come on, you shaved your head in the 90s and you protested the Catholic Church.
Mm.
Like, what?
I've never truly read through Quran. I
hmm
actually don't know.
hmm
I know parts. I know what I heard. So I apparently it is very attractive to young men.
Oh, of
Um,
course it is.
and I just know the
But
religion
of
part.
course, it's created for them.
But I never touched the book, so I actually don't know.
Mm.
It would be wrong for me to talk about it.
But
But
what's really funny, in the both books they talk about, like, rape is a sin, murder is a sin, this is a sin. They actually kind of advise against mistreating people or whoever, but then they still do it. They still do it, and you're just like, well, your book doesn't teach you that. But then
mm,
they changed these books to make them more like, to justify these bad things. But your own books are talking you should not do this. Even though the Quran, because I've seen a few passages, and it's very like obvious that, like, yes, you can like mistreat your non-believers, and stuff.
yeah, yeah,
That's not good.
yeah. It's definitely not religion of peace. Neither is
No.
Christianity. Let's be honest.
Yeah, exactly. Both of them didn't start that way,
They're
for
very
sure.
similar. You know,
They're actually very
people
similar.
don't want to hear that, but they're actually in essence very similar.
Uh,
I mean, I watched this scary video. I think it was so frightening to me, of an interview with these um, some kind of like Muslim elders. I don't know what's the name of their priests, but they were some kind
Iman,
of,
Iman,
yeah,
Iman.
prominent
Yeah.
prominent people in the religion, and a guy asked them, when is it okay when you marry a woman, because they marry women very young, when is it okay to have sex with them? And the guy said, well, a doctor should know. When the doctor says the woman is ready, then she's ready. Meaning,
Mm-hmm.
when you have your first period. So he was like, so a woman needs to be sent to be inspected by the doctor. And if a
Mm.
doctor determines that she's ready, then you can go ahead. And I was like, sorry, but this is like treating a woman like an
Cattle.
object, like a cattle. Exactly. And I was like, this is beyond scary. Like, not even a Christian priest would say this
No,
ever.
it would. We're come to, it has developed more. Yeah, even a Christian priest
I mean,
wouldn't say
like, I'm
this.
not saying everybody's like that.
Yeah,
I'm
of
not
course.
trying to
Yeah.
say that, but that really gave me some kind of like creep inside of my stomach, where I actually genuinely I was afraid. I couldn't imagine that I was in this position of being examined by a doctor to determine whether I'm ready to have sex or not, without anyone asking me that question.
Like, I don't know. It's if I'm scared, and I don't like to admit I'm scared a lot, but if I'm scared of something,
This
and
is some kind of primal
that
fear. This is something
it
that
is, it's
my body remembers, even though it
yeah.
didn't happen to my body, but the bodies of my ancestors remember.
Same thing, it didn't happen in this lifetime, but it happened in some lifetimes ago. And not only that, the being tortured and burned as well.
Mm.
And sadly, it's like I didn't like we didn't evolve with our souls. We didn't come so far to experience that again. It's
No,
like
I
I'm
do
not
not
having
accept
this.
it.
I don't.
I will
To
not.
be honest, I will end my life if this is the case.
I will
you know,
not give up without a fight.
First fight, obviously, but then if it's hopeless, then might as well just
Might as well
perish.
just pack my bags
Yeah,
and get
pack
on
my
that
bags.
spaceship.
Actually, pack my bags and just go home because that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Just go
Yeah,
home.
same.
Go
I
home and think, oh God, that was a crazy ride. God, why did you put me in this day and age? Really? Where were you
crazy. You
kids?
should have
Like,
just incarnated me in 60s or something. I would be
yeah,
already
like
done now.
literally.
50s. I would have a blast and then I could just go.
I often say this to my mom, like, why couldn't I just be born in the like 1960s? So now I would have been 50 something, and I don't have to worry about
The
much
future.
because the future is much. And she said to me, yeah, but we had the Yugoslavian war. It's like, okay, yeah, fair enough. I guess
Fair
every every
generation had
had its
something.
thing. I suppose,
The generation before that had the Second
hmm
World War,
hmm
mm,
hmm
which was
as well.
brutal
Yeah.
as well.
hmm
The generation before that had the First World War.
Yeah, so I guess never any peace. Actually, well, it's at least safe to say, at least we haven't experienced, so probably we will now, but
War?
we haven't. Mhm.
I did.
Sorry, you did. Sorry. Yes, you actually did. Sorry, I keep forgetting that. Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
did. Yeah.
Mm,
Crazy. So hopefully not the second one.
yeah.
I don't know. It's like the energetical situation at the moment. The aura around the Earth is like two things. There's
hmm
one, we are giving you rapidly energy so you can evolve as fast as you can
hmm
because you're
hmm
gonna need it. The second
hmm
one is like it's gonna get bad.
hmm No, but it's
But the part where they're giving us this
But
amazing energy is great.
to be honest, it is because have you noticed that the development
My gifts
is
are getting
happening?
crazy strong.
Mine as well. It's wow, and I'm so happy because I'm feeling like, wow, this is happening much quicker. I didn't anticipate this to be so quick.
My
You know?
visions are almost, they're so strong I can
Mm.
touch them. They're so strong. Like everything I see is sometimes I'm thinking like, did I just lose like 10 minutes of my time? I was somewhere. I was like, what was I doing?
I'm hoping that I'm hoping that that this energy expands more and more,
Hmm.
and that I'm able to, or we are able to, perhaps pass this on to other people so they can become like that as
But
well. You know what I
uh,
mean? It's like so they can become like see things for what they are. You
yeah,
know?
does it seem to you like, before the war starts, when you're getting recruits and you're getting them supplies and you're getting them
Mhm.
ready?
Yeah,
It kind of
yeah.
feels like it.
It does. It does. I had a conversation in my shower yesterday because I don't know what it is about showers. What is it about showers?
I don't know. I love showers.
It's just I guess the feeling that you're so vulnerable and also you're getting watched at the same time. And I'm gonna be honest. I had a conversation with three different beings in that shower. And you know what was discussed actually? Because I was just like, yeah, kind of washing my hair, and I was like, maybe I shouldn't say this on like social media, but
Oh well.
oh well, we already discussed a lot. So yeah, I had three different beings. One, okay, two I've seen before. One I've never seen before. So I'm like, who the hell are you? First of all, but okay, it seemed benevolent, and there was talks about war, and I
Mm,
was like, how can we prepare? There was, and this being that I will actually try to draw it. It had a triangle shaped head, and it was orange, but it was benevolent. It looks horrible, but it's benevolent.
okay.
And it was like, yeah, I've came here to help you do this as well. I'm like, okay, who are you? You're so I don't like I was like thinking I don't want to know these things exist because it looks horrible, but somehow it's like really good and wants to help. I'm like, okay. I literally feel like some days I feel I'm in this Lord of the Rings movie. I swear to God.
Yeah, no.
Sometimes I'm
My
just
life is also crazy. And then at the same
Mhm.
time I need to maintain my normal life as well, go to
Yeah,
work,
exactly.
eat,
Yeah.
exercise, e- dress, put makeup on. Oh my gosh.
Like how do you have this, but then it's funny because you learn to function so well in everyday life, like brush your teeth,
I'm
wash your
pretty good.
hair,
Yeah.
cook breakfast, put your washing, go to work, and then you come home and
And you're being abducted by aliens. And you're like, please, I have to go to work tomorrow.
like literally
It's
like
not a good time for
exactly.
this.
It's like not okay of all nights. Okay, fair enough, but I'm going to work tomorrow. This cannot take place. Just come back another
Oh
day.
my god.
And then, to be honest, obviously there's some type of intelligent whatever this is, obviously, because it does listen to you. You know, like
Okay, okay, we'll come back tomorrow to
it's like
harvest your eggs.
I'm just like, no, not tonight. I don't care what time. You're not coming tonight because tomorrow morning I have got to wake up, go for work. I can't have this, and they really leave me alone. Like sometimes they don't, but like they do leave me alone.
Mm.
But I have to be very firm. And obviously doing
It's like
protection.
I'm listening about the end of the world and the coming war and the situation. On the other hand, I'm also like cooking bean stew because I need to eat.
Honestly, I was thinking about that in the shower, like when I suddenly, and it happened so randomly because I was just thinking about what shampoo should I use today? Should I use this amp one or should I use this shampoo? And then suddenly I feel these like three beings. I'm like, why cannot you not let me just
I'm naked
can I
in the
not just
shower.
can I not just think about what shampoo I'm gonna use today without feeling all of this crap the whole time. You know, I'm thinking like, obviously I need to learn how to shut myself off, but then it's fun at the same time because at the same time I'm like, do you want to pick this shampoo for me? Because I'm struggling right now. And then sometimes I hear like, yeah, pick this one, and I'm like, okay, cool. Sometimes they kind of like, I don't know.
Oh, it's so
It's
good.
odd
I
because
love this.
and sometimes when I'm making like decisions, I'll get bored. You get bored in this reality sometimes, and you're like, okay, cool. Do you want to like say which one you want? I want this. It's like, okay, cool. Thank you for giving your input. And I do notice that they have they have an excellent sense of humor. They
Yes.
really do.
Yes.
They are they make me laugh. So
Yeah.
sometimes I caught myself. I would be in work and I would like work and
Today
I
I
would
was
start to laugh.
laughing in the toilet. I was like, I'm on the toilet. Like I shouldn't be talking to and I'm like, I'm sorry, but we can't be having this conversation now. I'm on the toilet.
Oh, it's exactly like
And
I'm showering. Why are you guys here now? Like I didn't like, but how will I say? There's no like creepiness in it. It's just like, well, we're here now.
yeah.
We need to talk. I'm like, not now. Just because you don't have time in your dimension doesn't mean I don't have time in mine. Like I'm timed in certain ways in mine, and yeah, like. But it's sometimes it's when things get like if you have a moment where you're feeling like really low and then they do have a really good sense of humor in
Mm,
that
mm,
moment.
mm. Oh my gosh, so many times like I got so many like cheeky remarks.
Yes.
And
And sometimes even they kind of like mimic even human that they're very good at mimicking like human the way humans would interact with each other but yeah they're very critic though as well.
yeah, 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 yeah,
It's like this inner voice that's basically I can hear the comments sometimes. I'm like,
yeah.
what the fuck does that mean? Well, thank you very much.
It's so funny because I'm very aware of which voice is my voice, so it's not
Yeah,
like I'm
yeah,
talking to
obviously, yeah.
myself
Yeah,
because
yeah.
this is like so it just comes in and you're like
Or or like yesterday, I've been saying this to my sister. I've been talking to her saying, look, the alien stuff, and she's aware of all of this. And she told me yesterday, what? Okay, can you like send them to me? Because I want to see them as well. Because you keep seeing them and I can't see them. Like, okay, I'll actually send them to you if you want. I will. And she said, yeah, I want to. I said, okay, cool. And I talked to them yesterday. I said, look, can you visit my sister tonight? Then, funnily enough, my sister has a dream that a beautiful, tall, white, very, very pale guy shows up. And they're so funny that they have this way of just making themselves seem appealing.
ah.
Because obviously, if you actually saw, how will I say, like, they're kind of scary in their real form. They have, actually, it's
Not
some
all
of
of
them don't
them.
even have a form.
Yeah,
They're formless, but they
yeah,
form whatever they want to
yeah.
form.
I mean,
So
astrally, you can do the same.
yeah, 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 exactly. That's what did they call them? The Wendigos, the shapeshifters
Yeah, yeah.
as well. Yeah,
But
yeah.
the thing is, like, we as humans, we're not recognized as species yet. We didn't deserve that, right? So they can just appear to
Mhm,
us however they want,
mhm, mhm,
because they can't do that to each other.
mhm.
Mm.
Interesting.
Mhm.
That's an interesting. You have more input into the world, so you're like a journalist on the astral plane.
Yeah, it's like, oh, we can do whatever we want with humans because they're not still recognized as a
Okay.
equal to the other
Mhm.
species. We're still waiting to deserve, but now it looks like it's not going well. But we'll see.
We'll see how it goes. Hopefully, we'll earn that. I
Yeah.
think with my earn it though with time because
Yeah.
we're quite special. We're
We
quite.
just need a chance, a proper
Mhm.
chance. We need to be given a proper chance
Yeah,
to achieve that, not this ridiculous rigged game. You know that.
big game where it's like, whoops, you just lost. Well,
Oh,
what was I supposed to do?
we're gonna suppress your. There was literally no chance. Like they attacked everywhere where they could. Um, so yeah. Do you have any memories of the previous destructions of Earth?
Definitely the flood is a
Really?
big thing in me. Yes, the
Mm.
flood. And actually, I was watching this movie with Adam Driver. By the way, I have a massive crush on him. I mean, who
I
doesn't?
love Adam Driver. Yeah,
Who
he's
doesn't?
and my partner is always like, he's so ugly. I'm like, how dare
I
you?
know. Like, he's not okay. He's not that like
He's not
okay.
your pretty boy, but he's just.
He's not,
Is
but he's
it
got
what's
something.
the one that where he crashes on the planet with
Yes.
yeah,
What's the name of the movie?
65 BC or something,
Yeah.
60 something, some
And
number.
it's funny because I was watching this movie and it was silly. It was a nice movie. I mean,
It's
anything that
okay.
has Adam
Yeah.
Driver in it, it's nice.
I
But but anyway, I was like watching, the end when the meteorites start falling, and I swear I had such a PTSD like watching this, and I started remembering watching that actually descend.
mm, mm,
Watching, no, I actually had a memory where I was watching that happening,
mm,
like at some stage in how many million years ago.
mm.
I was watching it. I was like, and it gave me such fear. And when I was watching this movie, I literally felt like I was getting like a PTSD
Oh my
reaction.
gosh.
The same reaction I was getting when I was watching an alien abduction documentary. That I had this PTSD feeling,
Mm,
like immense fear, almost like unnatural fear
mm.
of that. And that's where I knew, okay, so this probably happened to me.
Yeah.
And that's where the same with so at one stage, definitely the floods are a biggest memory of mine,
Mm,
like floods. And it's kind of crazy because I have actually a feeling that if you give me a map of the seas all over the world, if you give me a pen and you let me like meditate, I will pinpoint exactly where where Atlantis or Lemuria and these cities are, or the cities that have sunken under.
I
It's like if you give me a map, I might actually try to do this myself and see if anything comes, because I have a feeling like my soul will know where
mhm,
these places are
mhm.
exactly.
I know where the ship docked first
Hmm.
after the flood. The first land that they found, it was Himalayas, and that's
Himalayas.
how the
Wow.
Vedic knowledge came about, and that's why it's there. I mean, that's why it was in, like, around Tibet and
Hmm.
descended in
Hmm.
India later. But yeah, that's why all this Eastern knowledge managed to, you know, persevere.
I definitely like
But
see
that
this.
wasn't the only attack.
No, 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 it wasn't the only one. There's meteorites. There was floods.
There was this. I had this very vivid memory of soldiers that had suits. That's why I asked you about the mask, because they had masks as well, so I couldn't
Hmm.
see their face. They had like the full mask, and it was very weird. It looked very almost like a biosuit.
Hmm.
And they came to Earth and they were like killing humans.
Hmm.
But the guns they had were soul destroyers. So when they would shoot you, they would destroy your soul as well.
Hmm.
And it was the creepiest memory I had. I remember I woke up like in like sweat, and I was like, I couldn't go to work that day. I was terrified. It was so, like the idea that someone can you just like not just kill you, just like you're gone.
My God, it's a horrible thought to know that, because whenever you die, at least your soul kind of lives
Yeah,
on.
remains.
But in this case, it's awful.
And I remember like hiding away
Mm-hmm.
and being found in the end. And but they were like, "We'll bring her on and like do experiments on her."
Mm-hmm.
And then I
Yeah,
don't
I
remember.
never saw this battle. I don't think I go as far. It's kind
Maybe
of
that
like,
was the
oh, maybe
first one.
not.
Maybe that
Maybe, yeah, maybe that is now a very, very long time ago. Like, like probably even,
beginning.
yeah, even beginning. I definitely remember. I have a memory that always follows me of the beginning of time. I call them the memory of the beginning of times, and
Yeah.
this it's only one little memory. It's almost like this, old movies that were developed,
Mm.
and I only have this piece, which I remember these big plants, and I remember dinosaurs, and I remember like waters being very warm, and everything
Mm.
was very warm. I remember that. That was one little memory that I have, and I remember the vegetation was different too.
Mm.
And I have this memory, and that's it. I don't remember. I just have this like little piece that actually came to me when it was so funny. We had this like party back when I was in my early 20s, and we were just there was a full moon that was illuminating everything, and
Mm.
we were camping. And we went to this place that suddenly gave me this memory. I was camping and we were walking around in the we were like doing night exploration. We
Uh-huh.
were exploring like old buildings and stuff. But there was a forest and there was a beach, the sea, and everything was so well illuminated that I don't know why it just gave me this memory in that moment. I just stopped. I remember looking at the sea and all the plants around. I'm like, oh my god, this reminds me of the beginning of time so much, and it's so beautiful. I almost started crying when I saw
Mm.
that. I was like, they remind me of like when everything was just kind of new,
Yeah.
and it was so kind of, it was so warm and cozy, and obviously there was like terrifying beings and creatures everywhere, but I just had this memory of like, oh, that's how Earth started. That's so cute. That's so I get so emotional thinking about this.
Yeah.
And it was just this second that I had that, and for a reason that night, just I remember it was a full moon, and it sparked this memory in me all of
Mm.
a sudden.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, there's
I
so
wish I
many
could see
things.
more. I wish I could see more. I wish I could actually find the name of this like temples of this sort of, I don't know, are they the cult of the snake or the cult of the serpent holder? I don't know what that is, but I have to find out in my time. I think I'm not sure what that is yet,
Mm.
but I keep seeing a cult of the serpent, and there was like temples built in this to honor that.
I mean,
And all.
serpent is omnipresent everywhere. You
Yeah.
know, it's a very strong symbol, and it is the symbol of the two serpents intertwining
Hmm.
of Kundalini the ultimate enlightenment. And as in East is still valid, that is
Hmm.
your soul purpose and the reason you're here.
I definitely like see kind of if you think about ancient Greek structures.
Mm.
So because I know they exist in different types of the world in South America and so on, but I'm wondering where are these temples here in Europe? Because they used to be in Europe as well. Like I know they're ancient Greece, but there's much closer than ancient Greece as well.
When you see them, do you see like a bluish energy to them?
Yes, yes, and green, green, yes, and green, and purple
They
sometimes.
don't exist anymore.
No, okay, they're gone. Because I keep like I don't know, I keep hoping to like see that, and I'm like, where is this?
That's where I saw the slaughter like of.
Mm,
As now I started like analyzing that. Yeah, it looked like there was buildings like Stonehenge, but very
mm,
tall, very big. But there was
mhm.
like steps as well. There's like
Yeah, yeah,
Greek.
it's like a massive monument. I'm talking about like like columns.
Mm,
Colossus.
mm,
Colossus is the right word.
mm,
Huge. There's like this. Actually, I will call them obelisks.
mm-hmm.
Like, they're huge, and I don't know. It's another memory I have, and I always like hoping. I don't know why I'm always like, why did I not see them yet?
Yeah,
On Earth, where are they?
they're gone. I think they're under the sea
Hmm.
or ice.
that's why, like, I'd love to be able to do like a sea expedition. Just go out in the sea, because I want to be
They
able to
found
remember,
they found something
what it is.
similar off the coast of Japan.
Hmm.
They found huge pillars and steps underneath the sea.
Hmm.
So perhaps
They should definitely look
they
above the
there's
coast of Ireland
mm,
so much. They really should look
mm,
between.
majority of the
Yeah.
sea is
Hmm.
it's we don't know what's
Hmm.
down there.
Hmm.
Majority of the sea is not really researched that much. Oceans, but you wouldn't really find anything there. I mean, you wouldn't find anything of value.
Yeah,
It's the
yeah,
same as pyramids now are just objects. Before they
mhm,
were power plants, but they're not
yeah.
in use anymore.
Mhm.
But the shape of pyramid is a very important symbol as well.
Of course,
Yeah,
triangles and pyramids.
yeah,
It's
yeah. It's the shape of chakras,
mhm.
basically. Everything connected. Wow.
Wow.
4 hours 55 minutes. This is my I think I
The
never had
longest
a
we've ever done. No,
that is
no,
gonna have to be 5 episodes podcast.
definitely. This is
And people
wow.
are gonna think we're crazy.
I don't care.
No. At this
At this
point,
stage, at this point,
it's
it's
now
too
or
late.
never.
Too
It's
late
now
now.
or never now.
Yeah. To be
Yeah.
honest, if this is the craziest things they're ever gonna hear, they're up for a surprise in the next 10 years. So.
Yeah, I think that everything that was a secret,
Mhm.
it will not stay a secret in the next five
Yeah.
years or so.
Mhm.
It's like more of the things that were like kind of just available to a small population of planet will become available to everyone. So I just wonder how everyone else is going to take it.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, that was great.
That was
It just
amazing.
feels, it feels, I don't know, it feels like this knowledge just pours, and it's like
I
I'm
felt like I
like
was channeling a bit as well. So
saying, yeah, same. And you know what I feel? It's like there's lots of um almost getting like, we're really happy that you talked about this. Like, you need to talk about this,
yeah.
like people need to know. That's the kind of thing that I'm getting right now, like real kind of happiness about it, and like,
Mm.
oh, well done. And I'm like, and I'm thinking to myself, you guys have no idea how crazy this is gonna make me look, but fine, whatever.
David Icke was crazy as well. Who's laughing now?
I was like, great, like I'm just gonna literally throw myself into the um like I'm gonna be captured in the video that's like that literally can, like, I don't know, it can turn people against you for good, and it's just like, and I'm telling them, I hope it was
what,
fucking
what did
worth it.
what
You know?
what did I say wrong? I mean, people are
I
saying crazier
know.
things. People are saying
Yeah.
proper crazy things. Like when you die, there's virgins waiting for you. How crazy is that?
It's true, true. That's so
So
true. Yeah. Or saying that, saying that eating insects is the new future. I think that's totally crazy, to be honest. Or 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 wanting to buy a robot that's gonna do women stuff because you can't respect a woman. That is
that is proper
that is
crazy.
that is that is science fiction to me,
No.
literally, like crazy.
Oh,
So
I'm gonna buy a robot so I don't have to change myself and evolve into a normal human being, but rather I can just say who I am and have a servant.
I would rather just take showers and speak to three different alien beings.
Absolutely.
At least I don't get that bullshit from them.
No. At
Like
least
they're very
they
they're
treat
very
me
on
right.
point.
They treat me right at least.
True.
They're not trying to, sell me off or do anything without my consent. Apart from the crazy ones, the evil types.
Yeah,
But
no, they're like, they're trying, but when you establish rapport with the good ones, it's very hard for them to, like, to manifest themselves. Even there was this one I told you about, like he tried to manifest, and his own his own technology kept glitching so much that it was actually funny to watch. Like, you know how desperately that, like, it just didn't work. It was funny.
So,
It's
yeah.
like you can keep trying. It's just gonna like look funny. There's nothing you can do. You know.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Crazy
Anyway,
stuff. Anyways, that
it
was
was a
great.
pleasure. It
It
was
was
a
a pleasure.
pleasure, and definitely sometime in the future, once we rebuild our inspiration,
Yeah. Yeah.
we'll have
I
more
think
topics to
there's
talk
going to
about.
be more to talk about, definitely.
I think we're only getting started.
Yes. 100%. This is just the start. Anyhow, lovely people, thank you for listening to us.
Yeah.
And it's been 5 hours, but as I've said, I'll separate this into 5 episodes. So. But please start from the first one because nothing will make sense.
And see if we start mid.
Don't start mid. And hope you'll have a great evening, morning, afternoon, whenever you're watching. And me and Estella will see you soon.
We love
Bye.
you all. See ya. Big kiss.